everybody doing today? Thursday, which is my Friday. I'm gonna have a special guest tonight, one of my childhood friends, very influential on my growth, on my manhood. He helped me a lot. Something like my wife, I still have some issues, and it's constantly a process to get better. And his name is Dexter E. Florence, one of my childhood friends. But before I get Pastor Kevin to tag him in, like to go through some things. I heard about they had an incident where a young man in Oklahoma went to jail when he was 21 years old. His name is Julius Jones. Uh, I don't know all of the circumstances or the facts, but what I do know, um, what's been reported, that he an innocent brother, and in 3 weeks they're talking about killing him on death row. They're talking about putting him in a chair, injecting him with whatever the death penalty is in Oklahoma. An innocent man. According to some of the reports, the guy who actually killed this person, he was confessing to another inmate, telling the inmate that he actually did kill him. But the other guy, Julius Jones, is innocent. So to allow that to happen, I mean, that's what we're dealing with every day in Black America. And I brought that up because my whole uh, quest is to eliminate this bad behavior. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know that. But if one man start and people join in, it can change for the better. A lot of mothers losing their kids out here to the streets, to the graveyard, to the penitentiary. And it's not about uh, me. It's not about me. It's about us. I mean, my life is not perfect. It's not great, but it's good. I'm grateful because I know where I come from. I know where God brought me from. And those who know me know this. I shouldn't be here, to be totally honest with you. But God saw it that it's necessary that I be here. And the ones who do know me, they know for me to be doing this is serious, very serious. So, Pastor Kevin, I know you hear me, but uh, some kind of way we got to get Dexter E. Florence on the line. I don't know if he ready or he may be having the problems I had when I was trying to first get tapped in. Uh,
Well,
but in,
right now he is not on the platform. He has not chimed in yet. But if he does, I am definitely going to be able to pull him up right away. I am actually sitting here looking to see if he's going to join us. But right now he is not online. If you have his number, I will be more than happy to give him a call. Maybe you can text me his number
wow,
and I will call him, but he is not here yet.
wow, that could be a problem because I got my other phone going live, and this other phone is with you, so I'm trying to hit everybody at
Ah,
one shot. So yeah, and I don't, these days you just, you're kind of like speed dial people. You don't remember numbers like that. At least
right.
I don't. Some people do.
Well, if he does chime in, I will definitely bring him on board. Until then, I'm going to encourage you and motivate you and inspire you to share who you are and to share your story, why you wrote this awesome publication, what does it mean, and where do we go from here. But in the meantime, if he does chime in, we'll definitely bring him up. If not, we'll make sure that the next time he's available, we will be able to work it out and get it in detail for him to be here with us. I've been in New York, so I was unable to really connect with you and or him, but I'm here now, and if he needs to contact me for any reason at all, I'll guide him through the process to get on with us. Okay?
Okay, tenfold. But let me just go ahead and roll. Uh, Tonight, uh, now for those who haven't been following this, we've been going through this publication. I'm not your enemy. The binary effect. Uh, I was inspired to write this thing because it is difficult, man. I mean, if you don't jump real high, you're not that strong. Uh, it's kind of difficult to make it in this country, man. Being black, you got everything against you. It's like carrying around three elephants everywhere you go, from the minute you born to almost the day you die. And some kind of way we've been blessed with this ability to ignore all this. But this is real, you know. When you really, really sit down and you want to deal with this, this is some real reality, man. And we all in this thing together. But tonight we're gonna be talking about, in which it's one of my favorite chapters in the whole book. To be totally honest with you, it's one of my favorite chapters because it's so widespread. You can go anywhere with this nonstop, and I thank God. I really thank God for this. Tonight we'll be talking about systems politics. System politics. Uh, for those who, like I said last week, who think politics is not for you, I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I'll be the first to tell you that. But across the board, I thank God. It's like if those older folks, older people who remember them karate pictures that used to come out in the 70s. They had one of those, I forgot the name of it, but the teacher kind of made the Scorpio. He had his style. He made the lizard, I think. He had his style. He had, I think, a drunken man. He had his style. And had the snake. He had his style. Then he made this final one, the last one. And he had all their styles plus. So that's how I fit into this equation. I'm across the board. I got a little knowledge and everything. I got the experience and everything. But I believe God kind of like just put me here. Because even when I was in the streets doing my thing when I was younger, I always had this intellect. I always had this moxie, this flair. Not bragging, just being real. The ones who know me, and some people who meet me for the first time, they'd be like, "How in the world, you got this bad reputation, but you real manable, you real nice, you this, that, and other." Because certain areas, you can be certain things. Now in the streets, you can't be too nice when you're out there. But when you come into people's homes, yeah, you got to be polite. You got to be respectable. So, with that being said, see, system politics is one of those type of ventures that it deals with everything. Because politics is something that affects every last one of us. If it wasn't so, we wouldn't have this disinformation campaign going on, which we've been experienced that us as black people. They fed us all kind of stuff, just like the American dream. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of us has achieved that. Some of us did. But many have been crushed with this dream because it became a nightmare to many of us. And, sometimes we all look at our uncles, our aunties, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters that failed due to drugs, due to um, all kind of different atrocities that take place. in daily life and for Black America. All the traps have been set. That's politics. Like they always told us, did we bring drugs here? We don't have the capability. Do we build prisons? We don't have the capability. So who's setting all these rules? It's not me, and it's definitely not you. So I'm going to dive into, like I said, I'm by myself tonight, and I like to have some of the people that purchased the book because it's kind of easier for me to kind of question them to see their point of view, you know? So me being alone, I'm going to have to do everything myself. So bear with me. All right. System politics starts on page 29. And the first sentence tells you everything you need to know. The experimentation of slaves transitioning to citizens in America is a still ongoing process 400 years later. We're still in it. It's almost like our ancestors was the one that smoked the weed, but we got high. See that transition still going on. And it's so serious. They had and that's not about race and all this stuff, but we have to take care of ourselves. You know, to me, it's not about race, but it is about race. Because every day, that's what everything come back down to. No matter how you want to paint this picture, you know, like on Facebook the other day, they had something. I'm trying to remember here. There was something said. About Black people, and it was said that well, other minorities then come here and achieve the goal, achieve this, achieve that. I see, but the other minorities didn't have to go through what we've been through. They didn't have to be in chains. They came here and they was given opportunity. It was handed to them. They had set up. They were set up in our neighborhoods at that. So we had to fight through everything still. And now you got other minorities kind of benefiting off the fight we've been fighting. So it's easy. They know their own language. They know their own culture. Some of them still send money home. They still fly home to another country. If we was put on a plane and say we're going home, where we going at? Everything been robbed from us. But nobody want to acknowledge that, not even us. And especially, no offense, I'm not picking on nobody. The ones who have made it, they don't even see that. They don't see the millions and thousands being crushed every day. Little boys being put in their grave. Little girls being put in their grave. Little boys going to jail. Little girls going to jail. Being taught somebody else's system of education every day. This is not helping us. This is destroying us for generations. I know y'all don't want to hear this real talk, but this is what I'm about. This is what this about. This book was about. You know, I mean, I hate to see what I see daily. And it's hard. I know it's hard. Because the very few that do know a little something, they're afraid to say anything because they don't want to get ostracized. They don't want to be talked about. They want to be to kind of blend in. But all this blending in, what it's doing to our kids? Who actually talking to them? No offense. I don't know none of these people that been put on this pedestal. The little rapper dude, Lil Nas X. I don't know that cat. But for him to be in this position, who elevated him like that? Who did that? Why? In his early 20s, you know, you parade him around the world as a gay person. What's going on with that? Why a real Black man with Black knowledge? Why he can't be put on a pedestal? Why he got to be ostracized, put in a dumpster somewhere? Something's wrong. It's not me. Something's wrong with the system. And see, that's what I'm telling you. This is what this is all about. We can turn this around, man. This a regular person that wrote something very serious. And you ain't gonna really know it till one day when God called me home Then you gonna know, well, man, we had this dude in the mist. He was about this. He was about this. The only way, like I said, these people been stacking guns for generations. You and I couldn't even own a gun without them kicking out our door. Talking about gun, I'm talking about if we had 5 guns, they're kicking out the door. Even if it was legal guns, these people got hundreds of guns. I'm talking about one person. One person got hundreds of guns. I done seen it. They done showed it to me. I mean, I can't even tell you ammunition. I mean, they got more ammunition than the ammunition shop. And I always ask the question, what y'all planning to do? Who y'all planning to fight? Who y'all planning to kill? We got to get serious about our business, man. We shouldn't be out here with this foolishness, killing each other and not paying attention to what's going on around us. But system politics is, like I said, it's so widespread. I can kind of go anywhere and still hit the mark, you know. And Mr. Epps normally be here to always talk about how you can purchase this book. And no, also I want to let you know, I believe personally, I believe for anybody incarcerated, and this kind of man I am. You purchase this book, and if they don't change off this book, I'll give you money back. I'm live on air telling you that. If this don't hit the mark while they're incarcerated, I'll give you your money back. This gonna change them. They're gonna stop that foolishness. They'll come out a new man or a new woman. Just reading this. But let me get back into this. System politics. Wow. Life experience in America for most black and brown people have always been complicated and hard, mainly because of our God-given skin tone. However, there will be some who will say the skin color is not the problem, but that's a lie. It's to me, this just me. It's almost like God himself, when he made us, the black man and woman, there was an envy there. That envy went through time to this very day, present day to day, because the melanin that flows throughout, that the high concentration of melanin that flows through our body causes envy, causes jealousy. But the trick has been some kind of way to make us turn on each other. I don't know if it's lack of knowledge, lack of resources. All this stuff been going on for generations. They had many great men and women, black men and women come through here. In some cases, some white people. Yeah, some white historic who then helped us in slavery, according to the text. Now, it all depends what you want to believe. But I'm just that type of person. I believe they got good in everybody. I believe that. It's just that I know there's an evil in most people. Then, because I mean, the ones who know God, I mean, I'm not trying to justify wrong, but if I had to, I would say it this way. There's a limit to evil and wrong. What I mean by that, let me explain myself before you go off somewhere with that. It's like someone going there to rob the store. But he going to rob the store because he been trying to find something, a job. Couldn't never find no job. Whatever he did, couldn't never find. Could try to earn money the right way. Couldn't do it. But now the bills done came up. Everything just turned. His wife, they ain't got no food. Everything just going against him. He just snapped. He going there to rob the store, but tell him, hey, look, man, I don't want to kill you. I'm just here to get the money, and I promise you, when I get on my feet, I'm gonna pay you back. Just give me the money. That's all. Please don't be his hero. Not right now. All right, he get the money, he go about his business, and that's it. That's wrong. That's wrong. Now, let me show you evil. They got couple of fellas, money in their pocket, stacks of money in their pocket. They get high, they get drunk, whatever. They decide to go rob the store. And when they go to rob the store, they get the money. Remember, they had money on them anyway. They get the money, but one of them decide to kill a guy. You see, big difference. Wrong is wrong, evil is evil. I'm not justifying it because I know the people that's in the Bible, they can crush me. I understand that, but I'm just giving a different point of view, basically. So don't crush me. But my point I'm making, we all got to get to a point where we come together daily, make it an individual objective every day. Every day you pray, you ask God to make it better, especially with your people. There's too much of it, too much hating, too much jealousy, too much envy, too much backbiting, talking about people behind their back. All it's too much of that going on. Exploitation of each other. Generation of us experienced that already and still going through that. Why do it to each other? If I got it, you need it. If I can spare it, you got it. That's how I roll. That's how I am. People that know me. You know, none of us, I mean, like I always have said, none of us taking this stuff with us, no matter what we accomplished. None of this stuff coming with us. We came in the world with nothing, and that's the way we're going out. So the only thing I ask, we got to make it better. I mean, we done lost our children, and I feel sorry for the mothers out there. You know, the system, we look at the men, and, you know, it's easy for to point the fingers at them, just like this generation point the fingers at the younger generation. But nobody was there to teach them. They designed the system to crush the men. We couldn't see that at the time it was happening, you know, but they designed it that way. They being in over there on Capitol Hill, you know, discussing stuff, and some of us get elected to that stuff. They try their best to sit there and try to talk to them people. Them people just one way. Just like if you think I'm lying, you know, we all see with our own eyes, and I don't want to get like redundant every week with some of the stuff, but some of y'all may be just first time tuning in. So it'd be new to y'all. But the ones who've been tuning in is almost like redundant, but this the reality. We getting up every day dealing with the same reality. You know what I mean? An unfair system. No matter how you want to slice this thing. You know, think about it. Like a butler was a butler for a lifetime. That should never be. Jeff Bezos, the one who go to space every week now, uh, if we'd have started something like that, man, you know, we would never got that far. You know, it's just the system is so corrupted towards us. And matter of fact, I'm gonna show you how corrupted it is. I was on my way to work, and I'm a Saints fan. You can look in the room and see that. So I like to listen to the Saints radio, but they have news that come on for a couple of minutes as well. But they had conservative news came on, and the guy was saying it's a shameful thing that citizens in this country, you're talking about white people, let me get that straight, that they get harassed. I think it's Steve Bannon he was talking about, that they want to arrest Steve Bannon because they want him to come to Congress and give an account to what happened, what he know. And he refused to say that because he want to pledge allegiance to Donald Trump or whatever. But uh, he was saying now the illegal aliens, which is the Mexicans coming in the country illegally, but they'll get better rights than the citizens of this country. You know, it's they always see it from their. My point I'm making, they see it from their point of view, and we got to stop that. Looking at things from their point of view, we got to start looking at things from our point of view and stick to that. That's what this does. That's what this book does. It don't let you sway to their point of view. Hell with their point of view. That's why we're in this condition today. Ain't gonna stay here. All of us, generation after generation. No matter what you think you're a mass, when you die, them people gonna find a way to get back in your pocket and snatch that from your kids. Cause I always wonder. I say, now Tupac not here, his mama not here. Now, I know he had a sister. I don't think he had any kids. I don't think. I wonder who controlling that estate. That's my mind. Because I know what happened to Jimi Hendrix. A white girl is over his, because he not here. His daddy not here. I don't know if he had any kids, but a white girl is over his estate. Prince. I wonder about his situation. You see, we tie everything into them and not understanding we gotta come back to a community amongst ourselves. We gotta find this trust. Them people that pump so much mistrust in us, we can't even get together on simple things. Simple things. This is real every day, man, and people are dying every day. And what you actually did, like I always ask them. I say, you died and you treated. Now, Dexter calling me right now. He calling me right now. Hold on, everybody. I might lose y'all on Facebook. Give me a second. Dexter?
Yeah, I gotta have a Facebook account to log on.
No. No, you pass see, I'm live on Facebook right now. I can't even give you his number because all my phones are tied. Hold up, Facebook family. Hold on one second. Let's see, this a brother for you. We go through this. This is how life is for us. That's cool. Give me a second. I'll be back to y'all. Hold up. Let me see. Dexter. I'm gonna give you Pastor Kevin number. Give me a second. Oh, he'll walk you through. You ready?
Yeah, what is it?
847
847
744 2000. 847 744 2000.
All right, let me call.
All right. Shoot, I gotta get back on Facebook Live, man. I can't even get back on now. Yeah, sorry about that. Get out of this. Yeah, okay. That was one of my guests, one of my childhood partners I was telling you about. I was on Facebook Live and I don't know how to get back on this thing. Oh, wow. And they don't give you too many options here. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, public. All right, let me get back. All right, so what was that? Well, it's complicated living life in America for Black people, and we all know that. But what is the solid solutions, concrete avenues that we can take? That's the question. Um, um, I kind of detail some things that I see, and they got real experts, Black people, real experts. I just went to God with mine because He done spared me going through what I've been through, and I just wanted to be able to be a light, be the positive one. Um, Too many don't come through it like I've been through it. I paid my dues to make all the mistakes, and He spared me with those mistakes. And I want to be able to give it back to let younger guys know, man, it's not cool to be out here just killing people, killing your own people at that, uh, for money, because somebody else got the money, probably straight coward, and but the money influence you. You move behind the money, and he know that. He know that you're gonna move behind the money. So and that's the white man approach too. Same money. Everybody skip and hop behind money. Like I said every week, money is it's important too. It is in a capitalist society. But did you sell your soul for money? So you sell your manhood or womanhood for money? No, you shouldn't do that. If you believe in God, you just take your lick, do what's right, do what's right, move on from that kind. If somebody position you like that, offer you some type of foolishness. Now, if you lost already, yeah, that's what they'll come to you with that. There you go. What's up, D? I see you. Can you hear me? Dexter, Pastor Kelly.
Yeah, I'm now Dexter. Can you hear me? I don't think he's hearing us yet. Maybe he's not. He
I'm
doesn't.
gonna tell him hit his mic. I'm gonna tell him hit his mic.
Yeah.
Volume.
Now
I
he
might
should
mess
be
it.
able to hear us if he turns his volume up a little bit. He should be able to hear us
I'm
as
calling
well.
on his other phone. Hold up.
Hello?
Hey, look, your mic. I see your face, but I don't hear you at all. I see how you doing, Dexter. You're not hearing me.
Oh no,
So
I don't hear nothing.
I
Yeah.
know turn your volume up on your phone.
It's all the way up.
Yeah, because he should be able to hear us now.
Can you
Dexter.
hear me?
We
Yeah, I hear you. I
we
hear
can hear you perfectly, but you can't hear us.
I don't know why I can't hear you though.
you. You can't hear me either, Dexter.
He can't hear any. He can't hear
Oh, I can hear
anyone.
you now.
Can you hear
You
us
hear me?
now?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, good.
There you go.
I appreciate it, Pastor Kevin. All right, let me get back to it, man. This guy, like I was telling you earlier. This guy inspired me. This guy inspired me. We go all the way back to childhood. If I had two friends, one of them was his name Tyrone Davis. I mean, he got Nicole Bush and all that, but me and Tyrone maintained a long relationship over time. And Dexter was like my intellectual friend. Tyrone was like more my street level friend. So my intellectual friend kind of always, when I was out there doing my thing, always gave me positive, always gave me positive influence. And that was always a way I know I can turn that corner when I was caught up, when it was hard to get out them things. That's why I know. So the younger fellas out there, I understand what y'all in. I know you're in the quicksand, but this book is designed to help you. I'm designed to help you. And this brother here is this a monster. This brother is deep. He's a matter of fact, I'm gonna let him introduce himself. Like I said, it's one of my best partners in all of life, Dexter E. Florence. Come on, welcome to the show, man. Come on through.
Thank you, Troy. It's good to be here. It's always
Yeah,
great to
come on, man.
support you and all the endeavors that you're working on. And it's good to meet you also, Pastor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I have, I know that you have some things that you want to share with us tonight, and I'm going to extend your time for 8 until 8:30 to give you plenty of time to share what it is that's on your heart, on your mind. And I appreciate you being here. I'm going to move out of the way. But Troy, I just want you to know that if it's okay and you need the allotted time, I will be allowing you to go until 8:30 versus 8 o'clock. So if that's okay with you, I'll move over and let you go forth.
I appreciate it. Look, I'm gonna call you after this show too, yeah?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Dexter.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man, I'm sorry. Go back and introduce yourself and let us know what's going on with you, Dexter.
Well, my name is Dexter Florence, and you know, We've been knowing one another almost close to 40 something years of friendship. We go way back, childhood friends.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
right now, I'm in a job where it takes up a lot of my time, but it still keeps me connected to the people and to the studies and stuff that I'm trying to do on a daily basis, and just make contributions to friends and things and endeavors that they're trying to do. And I think that's a great thing that you're doing right now. I know your heart. I know that you're real near and dear to the movement, and we've been supportive of one another for quite a while. Uh, right now, I'm in the process of writing a movie, so that movie is going to entail my life and your life, how it intertwined with one another, and some of the things we've been able to accomplish from childhood up until now. So I'm looking forward to completing that project and getting it out to the world, and just being a positive inspiration to all those who see the story and can grow from it.
Yes, yes, absolutely, man. Like I said earlier, man, you've been very inspirational to me, man. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring you back. I want to say 1988, 89,
Hmm.
87. I don't know. Uh, when you came back from the Navy, you remember that?
Yeah,
Okay, I was in your room. I'm gonna bring you back to that. And at the time, now you heard rumors I was out here selling dope. You remember that? You
yeah,
remember that? Okay.
yeah.
And you said, "Hey, man," but you came indirectly. You weren't direct. You came indirect. You said, "Man, here the people out here selling dope to our people, poisoning them and all that. You know, I'm going to school. I'm in the service now. I'm gonna be an FBI agent, and I'm gonna get them." You remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I
And look,
remember that.
and look. At the time, I'm like, okay, you, you play around with me if you. Yeah, bro. But that was a moment. I brought that up because that was a moment that really kind of set things in motion for me. You know, because you get lost. I mean, we all grew up. Most of us. I ain't gonna even say all because they done destroyed so many families now, black families. That it's horrible for kids now, man. If they don't have a parent or two, man, it's hard. I mean, some kids struggling hard. I mean, it's ridiculous how they're struggling. But anyway, at this time, I was raised by a joint venture with my mother and my grandmother, so they kind of put a lot of values and stuff in me. And but you get lost when you get in the world. You grow up, you get out here, and you find out things for yourself, and you go through this life experiences, and it makes or break you, But at this time, when you had that talk with me, it just shortly thereafter, I meet Chuck D, and he tell me almost the same thing. Then after that, I wound up going to prison, and from there, that's where my rebirth came to understand everything that's going on around me. So I pledged to God I never sell dope again. It been since '93. I've been home. I've been working, taking care of my business.
And
So
you
I
know,
want to be that type of inspiration to all the younger men to let them know you can do it, man. With all odds against you, you still can do it.
yeah, that's one of the things that in life we all go through that maturation process. We start out thinking at a very young age, based on the experiences that we have in life, that this is what life is all about. And then the way life would have it, we experience things in life. We start to live a little more. Our mind expand, and then our whole philosophy begins to, change and take shape and mold us in a way. And whatever's in your heart, and when we have visions, desires to do things and move in a certain way, we allow that growth process to really come to its full fruition in our lives and go to work on it. And for you and I, we both we've had some struggles, and we've had some things that we've started out, with earlier, with the rap game and doing certain things. But our true desire has always been to the movement and upliftment of our people. So a lot of the things that's going on today that we were talking about 10, 15 years ago is starting to come to fruition now. And it's time. Everything has a season. And this is the season for us, for you. And you speak about that in the book, and everything that's been embedded inside of you as a man now is starting to come to full fruition for the rest of the world to witness. And that's a great thing, man. We use that term, that biblical term, iron sharpen iron, but you and I are truly the living epitome of that. Like you were saying earlier when you first started talking, that we both come from diverse backgrounds. I mean, your background is a little different from mine, yet when we come together and we sharpen one another, in avenues. And I like to tell people all the time that I have a brother, and my brother, where I'm weak, he is strong. Where he's strong, where he's weak, I'm strong. And together, we are an unstoppable force. And when you have that type of relationship, with a person, it's nothing that you can't accomplish. And we have formed that mastermind alliance in a lot of things. And I'm just happy to be a part of what you're trying to do now. And it has motivated me, and even in this line of work that I'm doing. Some would be comfortable in the position that I am in, but a lot of times you say I have awakened you, but in many ways you have awakened me, and hopefully together we can, with this here new project that we're gonna get underway and put out here, the world can see how when brothers come together for a common goal and they have the true form of love for one another, and they exercise that desire that's in their heart, they can become an unstoppable force and accomplish anything, because we both share a common thread, which is the love for our people. And like you said earlier, and we used to talk about that all the time. We are the mere, uh, we're the uh, result of the circumstances and conditions in which we go through on a daily
Exactly.
basis. But
Exactly.
somehow you and I have been able to, you know, dig deep inside, listen to the vibes from the ancestors, learn some things about self, and be able to overcome some of these obstacles that society has put in front of us, and all around us. And that's which you're to be commended for that. And that's one thing as black men we have to do. We have to uplift one another every chance we get so we can continue to move and strive for those things that we're trying to strive for in life. And again, man, I'm happy to see what you're doing, because I know where you've come from, and I know the growth that you are growing as a person. And again, that maturation that you have displayed over the last couple of years is truly a gift from God.
Without a doubt. But let me tell you, man, first of all, thank you, man, for all the accolades, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Dexter. Be totally honest with you, man. Without a doubt, all praise to God, to our ancestors, those that really, really, really shed blood, man, was denied a life on this earth. That we, for some reason, the enemy was able to erase that from our people. Just erased it like it never happened. All right. But my inspiration came from you, man. It came from you. Like I said, I gotta add my wife, man, because my wife, she tolerated a lot with me. I'm always trying to do things. I'm always trying to do this. I'm trying to do that 24/7. And she been faithfully, there for me, period, through my ups, my downs. But like I said, you inspired me, man. I still think about my days sitting in jail, in prison. And I thought about some things some discussions that you and I had, in private, like, and another thing is like Tyrone Mama. I know I'm all over the place, but I gotta kind of like bring all this back together. Like Miss Estelle, she like embraced me in my days when I was like young and wild. But your mother, she embraced me when I was young and wild as well, and I never forgot that. That was so important to me, man. And that let me come in the house. I still remember that, man, like it was yesterday. And holiday times, Joy, what you want to eat? You remember those days. So you always been an inspiration to me, man. And I thank God that he kind of landed you to be my friend. I want to let you know that, bro. You
Oh
always
yeah.
been an inspiration to me. And I couldn't
So
have did that. And look, to cut you off, Dexter, I'm sorry for doing it. But think about it. When I got on my knees that day, that's the day you talked to me. You said, man, you know what you told me for me to be inspired to write this book. You know what you told me. Matter of fact, they don't know what you told me. Tell them what you told me.
well, one of the things I told you, in the study of things, one thing we realized when we started to study the history, and I told you this, I said, man, you got one of the greatest hearts and you're fearless, more fearless than anybody I know. And if you're the type of heart you have, you should never be broke and you should do whatever it is that you want to do. Somewhere, I'm not saying it verbatim, but you know exactly, how it went. And I say that because revolutionary minds and revolutionary people have the same type of heart that you have, so maybe you needed to hear it at that particular time to get you back on track. Maybe the ancestors pushed me to say that to you, but it's already inside you. I mean, we're running to our destiny. And in order to run to your destiny, you got to have that uncompromising spirit that you have. See, when you have an uncompromising spirit, not willing to bow down to the vices and pressures of society, and follow what God has put in you to do, and you got that. You might not know you have it, and you really didn't need me to tell you. You just needed me to just say it so it could wake you up, similar to like in the Matrix where the guy told him, "You're not the one." Well, that's what he needed to hear to get on track. And again, iron sharpens iron, and so I was just glad to be an instrument in that, because what kick-started you, you see, also kick-started me, because see, the ancestors have brought us together for a reason, and we sometimes we might not know it, but uh, once we come together and we see the progress that we made, because it takes me back to Sunday, and I played Rules to Live By for a friend of mine, and he heard that, and he could not believe the quality of the music and the sound and the lyrics that we were saying 20 years ago. So as time would have it, we got off track doing these professional things in our lives. You taking your professional track, I'm taking my professional track, but yet here we are today again, and the ancestors has brought us together for another common goal. So whatever that destiny is, you can never run from it. You can't hide from it. And whatever it is that's in you is in you. And what's in you is the destiny of a lot of prayers from a lot of different ancestors to do whatever that mission is. You know what that mission is. Now the rest of the world got to see it as it comes through your being and your actions and comes to fruition into the world. It's a beautiful thing, especially when
Yeah.
you know it's about to happen.
Well, yeah. But look, let me tell you, I'm gonna go back to after you say what you said to me. I fell on my knees. Now I done said this many times for the people, because see, one thing we learned: the truth, you can say it over and over and over. See, a lie, it got a twist, because it can't stay the same. The
Mhm.
truth gonna be what it is. The minute you told me that, I fell on my knees, asking God, take me or free me. I had enough of it. We shouldn't be out here with this foolishness, killing each other like this, man. Too many people have died. Too many people have suffered. and we and the ones that elevate, they elevate. And don't get me wrong, and like I always gotta say this, I'm not hating on those because it's just so. To me, think about it. If you come from a neighborhood, you come from a struggle, and you make it, and now you're solids. What they do? What these people got on people that they don't even come back and say anything about what's going on? And mothers
Well,
crying. It's like if you use the terminology of the Bible. You remember? I think we see it in, every year around Easter time. I think when the firstborn of every child after Pharaoh made this declaration to, to to Moses. So once he spoke it, it became a reality. So firstborn had to die, right? And it was cried tears. Well, God did put a little loophole there for if you put the blood of a innocent animal or whatever, sacrifice on the dough seal or whatever, the spirit of death will pass by. All right. But for you to elevate and make it, and black children being killed, killing each other, and nobody is silence. Nobody say nothing. But what
well,
yo, go ahead,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
tell
That's
you. One of the things, and Dr. Joy DeGruy wrote a book called The Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome, right? She talks about post traumatic slaves trauma, I should say, post traumatic slave trauma. And in that book, she describes about how trauma can be passed down through generations. So when we go back and we study slavery, right, and we saw how uh, the slave masters used to take a black man hanging by the tree and make black women look at him while they cut off his genitals and things of that nature. That fear would go into that unborn child, right? And even for generations down the line, that trauma and that fear, even when they didn't have to see it no more, was still in their genes and in the genetics. And they found that that type of trauma can be passed down through the traits, right? So you remember how, like, when we would see, we would see young black men, and people would always say, when you see a man, you talking to a man, look him in the eye. Look
yeah,
a man in the eye when you talk to him.
yeah,
Well, that trauma comes from, that experience come from, slavery, where you used to get, lynched, or beaten, or chastised from looking at a white person in the eye. And not just that, that self-hate was taught to us. So if you never overcome it, or you never get treated for that post-traumatic trauma, then you continue to suffer from it. And a lot of us that we use the term that I'm awake, I'm woke, I understand, I'm in the light, and that we no longer exercise or talk in darkness, and we understand what is really, really happening to us, why it's happening, and who's doing it. When you become awake to those things, then those tricks, that self hate, can no longer exist in your life. Well, a lot of us haven't been woke yet. And a lot of us are waiting for people like Troy Walker to wake us up. You understand? A lot of people are waiting to hear that voice to wake us up. So as they get this information, as they see it, as they get treated for this trauma, then we become more and more, we receive that antidote that we need in order for us to become productive and lovers of one another and prosper together. So, like, these tricks, me and you are immune to them. So when they come with all of this stuff, we don't really, really buy into it. You can't really, really, run these type of games on us to make us hate our people, or do bad things to our people, say bad things about our people, even when they are all, what we may consider to be, on the wrong track, or doing things that are counterproductive to the whole of the black people, and what black people really, really need at that particular time. We don't subscribe to those type of tenets because we have been awakened, and we have received the necessary knowledge and tools that we need to carry on what we need to carry on to lead our people out of this slave trauma that has been really, really affecting him for years and years and years. And like you said earlier, we got a whole nation of kids growing up with no leader, right? So, like Gil Scott Heron said in his song, so eloquently, it's winter in America. The real leaders have been silent, but now this is the atmosphere. This is the time for them to come back up, and real men are now standing up. And you may be right on time with the conversation that we're having today. You're right on time with the book. You're right on time in this atmosphere because people are now thirsty for this type of heart, for this type of knowledge to help lift them up out of these conditions that they've been in for so long that they're tired of living in. So man, again, I'm excited and I'm happy to be here. But with this knowledge that we have, is useless if we don't spread it to all the people that we can as fast as we can to help get us and raise us out of the conditions that we're in.
Well, see, what I have in mind, to be honest with you, uh, I look at it this way, like just like a forest fire, it just burns, and then if nobody contain it, it continues to burn and burn and burn. That's what's been happening to our people, and God got a special firemen that can put the fire out. I happen to be one of them, you one of them, and they got many others out there, but they've been cast aside. They've been talked about, put down because they couldn't fit in the system. But because the requirements to make it in this man world, uh, especially for us, is so difficult. I've been doing the type of work I do. I've been doing for 24 years, but I decided, like I made that like covenant with God that I never sell drugs again, and I've been true to that, honorable to that covenant. I made a lot of mistakes, but that wasn't one of them. I told him I never sell, and I never did, and I never will. I don't give a damn what goes on with how bad it get. Like I ain't afraid to die. I ain't like most people, cause I understand that I never asked to come here. So what I'm saying is, there's special firemen that can put the fire out. The enemy always have been afraid because he know the God inside of you, inside of all of us. So he gotta feed us. It's like stolen identity. Then it took our identity and masqueraded somewhere else with other people. So we don't have no identity because we don't know who we are, and that's why the game continues to run. So we come into that identity of ourself. Because like I said, if I hurt, you're supposed to feel my pain. But they didn't exit that. They didn't cut that off. Where I hurt, you laugh at me. That's not right. But that's how they didn't condition us. When a man hurt, empathy is supposed to come to you, especially a black man, to another black man. You right?
I agree with that.
So, but that's what this is all about, man. Putting out a forest fire, been burning too long. So, again, man, I welcome you, Dexter. Like I said, man, you're one of my greatest friends on this planet, and you know that. I ain't got to tell you that. You already know that. And the enemy, never worried about him, never will. The way I see it, I got God work to do. I got to work that God done put on me, the ancestors done put on me, and they're gonna get carried out. As long as God give me the time, the help, and strength. And if anybody not with it, they're gonna get rolled over by it. Simple as that. So that's how serious this is. Like I say, um, for those who know me or don't know me, like now that's a writer. See this man on the screen right now? This is a writer. I'm not a writer. Matter of fact, that's what I was getting back to. When I got off my knees, everybody knows the story by now. Something went through my spirit saying, well, you're too old to play ball. You're too old to rap, but you can write. You can write a book. Oh, I don't write. Dexter write. That's Dexter right there. See, I'm telling God that. I don't write Dexter right. No, God said, no, you're going to write this. You're going to write this. Or if I'm going to write it, I need a title. I'm not your enemy. The binary effect. I said, wow, very impressive. I'm going to need a cover. So he gave me this cover. Formulated this cover. 6 months later, I see a resemblance to my cover, but that only God himself can see that far, not me. So that was my inspiration. So if I needed tools, he gave me the tools. My book, the name. I got my best friend that's very, very capable. And it's all about moving now. It's all about motion. So that's what it's about with me, man. Every day trying to find new ways to get this message out, to reach our people. I'm tired of seeing these mothers hurt like that. Their kids sitting in jail, and that's the lucky ones. That's the lucky ones. For a young man to go to the grave at 17 and 16 years old, and that's unheard of. We the only ones doing this. Why? Why had the target been on our back like this? Envy, jealousy, hatred. And it been you see it in my book. I got a part that it been transformed. The hate that these people have been transformed. No, it been transferred. My bad. It been transferred and transformed inside of us. It's almost like a booster shot to hate each other more than they hate us. That's bad. That's the kind of we got to come with that type of antidote to cure this type of sickness that's inside of us.
And it's fading away. Some of us have been inoculated with the spirits of the ancestors and God to do the will of our people. So no matter what they try to do, it won't have any effect on us. And being that it don't have any effect on us, like the words say, when they hear the voice of the shepherd, the sheep shall come. And the more you get out there spreading that word on what we're trying to do and what needs to be done inside the race for our people, edifying them with good positive messages like you're doing, they're going to hear that word and they're going to wake up and they're going to come. So the slumber that's been over a whole nation of people is starting to wear off, and it's wearing off through the youth. And the youth is coming up now, and you see them with no fear whatsoever. They got a whole lot of energy. They just need some guidance and some direction. And like I told you a long time ago, they don't really fear the drug dealer on the side of the corner. That's nothing to them. They fear the man who can manipulate the minds of others and get them to start walking away from the tenets and subscribing to white supremacy and start living towards freedom and justice. And that is a dangerous man. See, you become a dangerous man when you can liberate minds. And that's what you're doing with that book. You liberating minds because you're making people take a second look at themselves. And even if they don't subscribe to the philosophy of what you've written in that book, it's making them pause and say that, uh-oh, am I am I my own worst enemy? Why do I hate my brother? Who taught me to hate my brother? And that alone, that slight hesitation is all it takes to start a whole revolution. So, you become very, very dangerous to a lot of people that's out there that want to keep things as status quo, keep a whole nation of people dumb, consumers. But once you free their mind, they don't become consumers no more. They become producers of their own culture with the gifts that God has given them. And that's a beautiful thing to see. So, I'm excited about it. I talk to a lot of young people, on the job that I do. I meet them and I talk to them all the time. And it's exciting to see that they once again have hope. They can look up and they can start mimicking and emulating men that they see that have the strength, the knowledge, the wisdom, the direction that God has inspired them to have to do the things that they need to do as a man and as a person. And they don't have to really become second class, bow down, talk with their back bent, where people can ride their back. They standing up straight. So, hey man, we all got a role to play, and now you playing your role. You know, so now you see why you went through all of those things during your childhood and through your journey to take you to this part. And the same with me. And what's even more beautiful, and I keep saying this, is that it's like two giants headed in the same direction with the same goal on opposite sides of the street.
And that's true. That's how it always been, Dexter. But let me
Hmm.
ask you this: since you mentioned the book, uh, not to put you on the spot, because it's gonna be hard for me to do that anyway if I tried to. Uh, I was talking about we was gonna be talking about this section of politics, system politics. That's on page 29. That was what I was supposed to be getting into, but I knew we wasn't gonna be able to get into that because man, you when we get together, we always have these heavy intellectual discussions anyway. But so I ain't gonna even trap you to one chapter. Let me ask you the book itself. What you think about the book itself? You.
I've already shared this, so I guess I'll share it with everybody else about the book itself. Um, One of the things about the book, when a man is given a vision, as you say, you have been divinely inspired to write this book. You write it for a reason. That book has a chapter in it for everybody. The first thing I asked you when you wrote it was, who was the audience that you was writing it to? Now, when I read uh, the the title, "I'm Not Your Enemy," and then I started reading the book and getting into the book, the title suggests, like you were saying, from one black man to another black man, with the killing that's going on inside of the community and all the things that's happening inside our society, that I am not your enemy. We should be fighting the same cause in the same for the same reason. We're both being oppressed. But when I got into the book and I started reading the book, and you touched upon, politics, you touched upon institutionalized racism, and you touched upon uh, things in history that affected us as a people by the oppressor, I begin to look at the book in a whole different light. In other words, I started seeing that not only were you trying to educate them by uh, saying things in a subliminal form, in a third person form to white America, uh, you got to stop this because this has harmed my people through these particular different ways. I started looking and digesting why would you say some of these things to those people? And it wasn't until I started getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the book that I realized that although the title of the book was "I'm Not Your Enemy," and you was trying to point this book in the direction to black on black crime and what was happening in the black community, this was the cry, or this was the plea of a black man to America about this has got to stop. And that
Hey,
was you did that in a way in which if you're not really comfortable in digesting some of the things that you wrote in that book, people will get turned off. But one thing about writing, see, writing is uh, unique to the author. Every author has their own style. So you can, however you put it out there, is how you put it out there. And that becomes your signature for writing and disseminating information to people. And the way you disseminated that information with the title that caught the eyes and ears of black men all across the country and black on black crime, but yet you had a cover that suggested the insurrection that took place up there on Capitol Hill. It drew it drew white America in with the cover, but it drew black America in with you being an advocate for them, speaking about the things, the atrocities that have taken place against them that have led them down this line to be, you know, promoters of black on black crime through this institutionalized racism that you talked about in several of the chapters. And on politics, it's just one of the ways in which they got that agenda done. But the book is a great, great read. And if you really, really want to know how a black man feels, you know, every black man should read that book because we all don't feel the same way. We all don't express things the same way. But however we express it, it's real and it's true. And your expression in that book and how you wrote it was real and true. So when you pick it up, you can feel that. See, like, you know, I heard you say earlier that, you know, you digress and you was getting off the subject. One of the things when we get mad, what we do is we sometimes we don't stay focused on whatever it is. We digress or we get sidetracked with something else because that anger in us drive us through emotions to say things, to do things that we might not ordinarily say if we wasn't mad. So that type of energy is in the book, and you can see it when you talk from this subject and go to the next subject and the next subject because that's what's truly on your mind about how we're being affected as a people and what it's doing to our communities. And I think that was brilliant for that book. Even though you always say you're not a writer, but that was brilliant for that book. Remember, people thought Coltrane was crazy how he used to play, jazz. Until years later, they picked it up and like, wow, man, this guy's a musical genius. And it's the same thing with the way you wrote and laid it out in the book. So that's what I think of the book. I think it's the uh, complete uh, emotional outburst of how a black man feel about what he's going through to to wake up and shock black men and black people who participate in black on black crime, but yet sending a subliminal message to white America. I'm here to stop this, and I know what you're doing.
Yeah. Hey, Dexter, you very analytical. You very analytical, man. You hit the nail on it. Put it like this. Too many people couldn't even sum it up that way. You summed it up. I mean, to the point, man. I mean, to the zero. It's, man, brilliant, 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 man. That's exactly what I had in mind when I did this. That's exactly what I had in mind, and I
And it comes
appreciate that.
across that way.
But that's what I was telling most brothers, man, and the sisters out there. Their loved ones that they have incarcerated. I know this will change. This will change their mind and heart. This alone. It's just for everybody, because I've been inspired with all the spirits inside of me, and especially the Nat Turners, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Bob Marley, all those hard hitting spirits that was direct. This what I kind of like embodied that, but yet at the same time made it a little commercial because I don't want to frighten our own people because some kind of way that the people put fear inside of them but they don't have fear inside of them when it comes to each other, only when it comes to them people. So it's like psychological warfare. We constantly lose. And I think once you get the right information, you'll be able to see them better. And when you can see them better, it'll make you better. And you'll be able to deal with them how they be supposed to be dealt with. Because like I said, I remember one time you asked me, man, what my end game is. At the end of this, whenever we finish this publication, the end game is simple, man. I would like just if me personally, I believe we can live in harmony, black people. I ain't talking about no integration system. I'm just being real. I believe that we can buy 3 or 4 states in this country and all us live on them 3 or 4 states and teach our kids the right information. Build up, since we the biggest consumers in the world, we can produce our own stuff, buy our own stuff, now deal with them other people how we want to deal with them. They may not like that. No, I don't care. I'm not here for you to like what I gotta say. Cause I don't like what you do. I don't like you going to storm the Capitol and feel you can get away with that. I'm not here to be your friend. Like I said, I'm not your enemy. It don't apply to you yet. Until I can get my brothers and sisters on the same page. Then once I get them on the same page, then I can come talk to you. And we can see how we can negotiate what we need to negotiate. But up until that point, I'm not really focusing on you. I'm focusing on my people. That makes sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What you think about
Remember,
the 3 or 4 states theory?
well, this is what I'm gonna say to that is as time goes on, right? This is genetics. I'm talking genetics now. They say the black trait is a dominant trait, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
recessive trait cannot survive with the dominant trait. So as years and years and years go on, we begin to get back to whatever that dominant trait was. And genes are passed down from ancestor to ancestor. So now the things that you're expressing are expressions from 2 and 3 and 4,000 years ago. That's making its way back to the surface through your genetics, right? And when you go back through history, there was a time where we were the only people on the face of the earth. So when you understand that, all you're doing is getting back to your roots, to your roots. Now, some people will, they will question that. They will say, this is reverse racism. This is, you're talking segregation, you're talking this, you're talking that. But when you really, really dig deep inside of the history and you go back to the history, it was one time where we were the only people on the face of the earth. So now, in your bloodline, those genes and that genetic makeup and them thoughts have made it to the surface. Those other thoughts that are really, really foreign to your mind and to your body is making its way out. You have purged them out of your mind and out of your body. So now you are thinking like your ancestors and your people did thousands and thousands of years ago. And somewhere in the spirit world, they're looking down and they're smiling that you even have that thought pattern. Because wherever it went wrong, and we allowed the love that we have in our heart to embrace this devil or these people who act like devils and turn this world into what it is, they're saying, okay, now we got a child of ours that has woken up. So when you ask me what I think of it, that's a natural thought. There's nothing foreign about that. And it should be nothing foreign to any revolutionary mind from Marcus Garvey all the way back to, Shaka Zulu, Imhotep. None of that it's only foreign to those who have become uh, who have assimilated into this way of life and think this is the way that we should live. We are civilization, So no, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Brilliantly said. I couldn't have put it together myself that way, man. Yeah, that's why. Like I told you, that's why you my mouthpiece. Yeah, man. But hey, Dexter, how was your day today, man?
I had a good day. Every day that bring me closer to my true destiny is a great day. You know, I'm like Jonah was on that ship. Right now, it's rocky, it's uncomfortable, and I need to jump off this ship and get swallowed up into that whale and then get spit on my shores of Nivea so I can do what I'm called to do. So this right now, what I'm doing with you is natural. And once
Yeah,
we,
that is
we
natural. This is
disengage from
true.
this relationship, this here activity, now I got to go back to trying to liberate myself from this ship that I'm on.
Yeah,
But I had a great day. I did.
well, that's good, man. That's good. Yeah, man. I'm just glad that you back on focus, on point, doing your natural thing. Because I know your capabilities. I've seen it firsthand, witnessed it. Like I say, hey, I went to the highest power until I'm not the writer. Dexter's the writer. So I ain't got to say no more about you and your writing skills. But oh, excuse me, Dexter.
Uh-huh.
I never put one in the studios. Yeah, Dexter.
Yeah. Let, let
Yeah,
me
man.
ask
But
let me ask you a question.
yeah, shoot for it.
All right. I know what you're doing with the project, with the I'm Not Your Enemy project, and I know your philosophical beliefs. We've had numerous times to be able to talk about that. Let me ask you this question: knowing that the ancestors are looking down on us right now, knowing that inside of your heart of hearts, in the deepest recesses of your mind, right? What is it that you haven't expressed that you want to express for your people?
Well, me personally, Dexter, it's simple. Everything, it's much. I just want unity. I want unity amongst our people. I don't want, like I said on numerous occasions, man. You go somewhere, especially the younger people, even some older guys, you go somewhere, they see another brother, they or sisters, I don't like them. Why you don't like them? Or the way they walk, the way they look. So all that foolishness, all this stupidness got to stop. Especially, you don't have Facebook, and I just got the stuff when I wrote the book. Man, they'll have sisters fighting on Facebook and other people just standing around watching. Brothers fighting on Facebook, they'll have people standing around watching. This foolishness. So all this, too much serious work need to be done amongst our people. So it's just the simplest thing right now for me. Just stopping the foolishness. So I'm not your enemy. It's my contribution to stopping it. So that just it. Not only stopping, ending it. I want to end, stop. See, stop is like I'm riding my car and I got to stop for the stop sign, but when it's clear, I can go. End is over with.
So
So that's what
and
I'm trying to end this foolishness amongst us.
and the reason I ask that because we talk about this all the time, that one focus, that one thing we're going to go after, and as you say, unity. So we know that there's a lot of things out there in society that is distracting us from coming together. In fact, they don't want us to come together like we're doing right now in a forum like this, because the coming together of serious minds can do some serious work, and turn people a different. So, and I already know the answer to this question, but when we understand that unity is one of the key factors in us achieving the things that we want to achieve in life, as a people, how prepared are you to see whatever you got to do through for that to come to fruition for our people? Because that's a serious type of love, man. That's a serious type of love because you got to love people more than they hate themselves.
Well, see, you remember, God spared me. I would probably should have been dead many times, not just one or two, many times. So He spared me to get to this moment. Now, you think about it. 10, 15 years ago, you saw me writing a book, Dexter?
No.
Okay. So my mission is already bigger than me. It's already bigger than me. Uh, you know, my greatest inspiration out of men is Malcolm X. You know that personally. Malcolm was one of the greatest black men, in my opinion, that ever was born in America. Period. Bar none. Because, like I said, this brother loved his people, us so much that he didn't get no money. He didn't try to squander us. He didn't. He just, once he got into his mission, he stayed focused to the end. And even when the moment came when the assassination was in, or the plot was already thickened, and he sensed it, man, let him in. He embraced all that. But I mean, naturally, you have a little fear, imagine, when death around the corner, especially with his family right there, too. But to answer your question, the love of God and my ancestors, for God's family, for my ancestors to sacrifice everything, need to come to that understanding and knowledge of that. It's only easy for me. It's easy for me to do what I got to do. I'm not fearing nobody. The only one I fear is God Himself. I don't feel no government. I don't feel no man. I don't feel no weapon. And I this ain't talk. For the ones who know me, who really know this real. So this is easy for me. Too many people have already paid a heavier price for me to even have the opportunity to write a book, to do what I'm doing. It's only natural that I do what I gotta do.
That's the type of uncompromising spirit you gotta have to see it through. Because that's the spirit that's contagious, that make people uneasy at night, and when kids see that, just like you saw it in Brother Malcolm, uh, it becomes contagious for them to want to go after it and see what has caused that brother to be like that. But I'm just glad, man, that we are not only on the same team, but we're striving for the same goal, even though we're doing it in different ways. And that's the beauty of it. It's no set way to do it, but if the same goal in mind, it can get done.
Hey, Deck, since you my man guy, man. Look, I know I'm close like this, but I'm gonna let you close for me. But I still gotta say this: Black love, Black unity, create Black power. You take over, Dexter. Close it out for me.
Well, I like to thank you and the pastor for bringing me on. And I like to say to the people that's out there in radio land that's listening to this broadcast that Brother Walker is very, very serious about his mission. His mission to unite our people and to bring us into unity so we can do things, become creators of our own philosophy, doers of our own things, and raise our kids in the way that the ancestors has taught us from the past to raise them is real. And if you can lend your support by buying the book or subscribing to his channel, I would suggest you do so because I will back him with all of the support that I have. And when this movie come out, you'll see why. Thank you for having me on, and I look forward to doing whatever I can to be proactive in your mission to bring unity and love to our people to accomplish the goals that we want to accomplish in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, D. Appreciate it, my brother. Much love.
Mhm. Yeah, you're right.